And here we are, National Science and Math Quiz. Maxwell Agbagba is on hand to walk us through what exactly has been happening. Maxwell, if you can hear me, do walk us through what the latest is as far as the National Science and Math Quiz is concerned. I know you are at the Accra College of Education. What's happening there this morning?
Exactly, Benjamin. So we are done with the regional qualifiers. That was for 2 days. So far, 9 schools from the Greater Accra region have qualified to the 2021 National Championship scheduled for October. Now what is going to happen is that we'll have 4 schools joining the 9 schools, making 13 schools from the Greater Accra region. So we are done with the regional qualifiers. Something big is about to happen today, which is the Greater Accra Regional Championship. Now, in this championship, we're going to have the 4 seeded schools from the Greater Accra region and the 9 winning schools, the 9 schools that won the regional qualifiers and gained qualification to the main competition sometime in October. But I have Stephen Adjo here with me. He's one of the coordinators for the NSMQ. He's going to tell me more about what has happened, break it down, for us. You're welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So tell us more about the Greater Accra Regional Championship. What really is it about?
So the Greater Accra Regional Championship, first and foremost, is sponsored by Absa Bank. They are the main sponsor for the competition, and it involves the schools who have qualified from the regional qualifiers, and then the seeded schools from the previous year's edition. So we had 4 schools, that's Achimota School, St. Margaret Mary, Accra Academy, and Presec Legon. They are the 4 seeded schools, and they'll be joined by the 9 qualifiers. That's Holy Trinity Cathedral, Chemu Senior High School, St. Thomas Aquinas, Ashaman SHS.
Quite a number of them. I've actually run them through the pictures.
So these schools would come together in a competition. That's a championship, which, as I mentioned, sponsored by APSA, and for which we determine the regional champion. Last year, Presec Legon, they won the regional championship in Accra, and they went on to win the national championship. So, and I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, St. Augustine's also won the regional championship and then went on to win the national championship.
So they won the Central Regional Championship?
Exactly, and then they went on to win the national championship. So, I don't know whether the story will be told again this year, that whoever wins the regional championship would also go on to win the national championship this year. We're having the championship in the whole country, and so we're starting with the Greater Accra region first and foremost.
Okay. Thank you. But before you go, how's the qualifiers been like for you, the regional qualifiers?
Well, it's been quite interesting. I must say that I've been quite impressed with the kind of performance that the schools showed as compared to previous years, for which they also deserve to have won or to have qualified. But people are doing a lot of work. We have schools traveling the length and breadth of this country over the couple of months, just preparing themselves. So it showed in the contest that we had during the qualifiers. And so I believe that moving on to regional championship, something great, something big is going to happen. And I'm sure with Absa Bank solidly behind the program, something great is going to happen.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So now, Benjamin, let me quickly run you through the contest that we have for today. Some of the contests that you want. Presec Legon against Odogono SHS and then Ashaiman SHS. We also have Achimota School, Our Lady of Mercy Senior High School, and then St. Thomas Aquinas SHS. This is a contest to look out for because Achimota School, we know sometime last year in the 2020 competition, they missed out on the grand finale by just 1 point. In fact, I remember in that semi-final contest at this other college had 21 points, Achimota School had 20 points, and then Kata Senior High Technical School had 17 points. They missed out on the grand finale by just 1 point. Today they are coming to the Greater Accra Regional Championship. You definitely want to expect some kind of competition from them. St. Thomas Aquinas Senior High School, they qualified yesterday right here in this room. They qualified for the 2021 national competition. Now, one day school to have won the National Science and Math Quiz. Coming up against 2-time winners like Achimota School, you really would want to wait and see what's going to happen. But St. Thomas Aquinas, yesterday we saw them, they qualified with 59 points, one of the highest that we've seen for the regional qualifiers. It will be an interesting, contest here later today. The Achimota School, Olam SHS, St. Thomas Aquinas. We also have Accra Academy, Holy Trinity Cathedral, Tema Methodist Senior High School, and then Chemu Senior High School. We also have St. Margaret Mary SHS, West Africa SHS, and then Ganata SHS. We can't wait for the contest to start here, and we'll be right here to give you updates as and when they happen on our bulletins, Benjamin.
Update, and we'll come to you later for much more. But there were jubilant and ecstatic scenes at the Upper West Regional Library after WA Senior High School answered a tiebreaker correctly to book a spot at the national tournament in Accra, slated for October. They joined St. Francis Xavier, Drapa, SHS, Canton, SHS, and St. Francis Girls' School to make up the 5 teams which will represent the region in the tournament. Back in school, it was a hero's welcome. A guard of honor was actually mounted for the contestants who made history by qualifying to the national tournament for the first time in 20 years. Manuel Kranteng reports.
It's moving steadily at 15 meters per second along a straight line. Yes.
And that was the mood at the Upper West Regional Library in WA at the end of the 2-day qualifiers, which saw the region's top high schools battle for a place in the national tournament. WA Senior High School narrowly secured the final slot to join St. Francis Xavier Junior Seminary, Drapa SHS, Canton SHS, and St. Francis Girls SHS in the 2020 edition of the National Science and Maths Quiz. For the boys at Francis Xavier, who won with an impressive 58 points, contestants. They are the first team to qualify for the tournament in 2 decades.
At that time, all that I had to say was, I was just saying in my mind that I know that God have put myself on him and he will never disappoint me. So at that time, everything was just prayers.
Oh, we don't have a secret. Our only secret is God, and per our preparation, we relied on him. In fact, to a point, we are almost like demoralized. But per what we've done and our prayers, we knew that God wouldn't fail us. Yes. So at that moment, it was still draw. But we
were somehow panicking on stage because of how we and Laura were at tight.
And we are very excited, as my sister said. At first, when we were getting the wrong answers, we nearly cried. We even said, oh no, we are not going there. But as we break the tie, in fact, we are very happy for what we did. And I know when we reach to Accra or wherever we are going to conquer them.
I'm feeling very excited for all what happened. To be frank, at the first we were thinking we were losing, but God being on our side. And in the training we did, we knew God is not going to fail us. In fact, some of us nearly cried, but by the grace of God, we were able to make it. And then we give thanks to the Almighty Allah for all what He has done for us. And we know that when we go to Tamale, He's not going to fail us. We are going to make it. We are going from 17 to 100%, I say, in Jesus' name.
The trainer of the team, Ababasa Olina, called for support from the alumni of the school, which includes current Speaker of Parliament, Alban Pipin Toba.
So we went and sat back and said, what is really the problem? So we need to build and pick up the pieces. So we did. In fact, I'm most excited because I'm also an old one of this school. And I said, whatever it takes, said that we are going to prepare and qualify, we are going to do it. And God willing, we have done it. In fact, we are really constrained when it comes to logistics. Sometimes you see that some of the things that affected us was the bell, how to ring the bell, because we don't have one for training. So we only train in a vacuum. So we lack a lot of equipment and we lack a lot of logistics to work around. So anybody, be you an old boy, be you a philanthropist, be anybody who wants to support academic work, anybody who wants the group of WA Senior High School, we call it Great WASEC. If you want us to grow, come and support us.
Rafiq Salam is one of the alumni of the school.
I feel great because I'm told that the last 20 years they haven't appeared at a contest. But let me also tell you that I'm a science student. I completed the school somewhere around 1994. And then I also was part of the team. It used to be called Brilliant Science and Maths Quiz. So I was somehow an unused substitute in that particular contest. But say kudos to the boys for making great Wasek great again. They need to put a lot of things in place because the first thing that is by qualifying. It's just like the World Cup. Once you qualify, you prepare for it, and I think that Wasek will move to places.
And we can now sign out, right?
Reporting for Joy News, Rafiq Salam.
Rafiq Salam, of course, and wow, featuring right there for the first time in 20 years.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. May they go really, really far in the competition. But later on today, there's Presec, Legon, there's Accra Academy, and there's Achimota School.
There's your favorite school, Achimota Senior High School.